India is one of the best opportunities right now globally. If you think about it, there's US obviously, which has always been a great market. But outside of the US, any investor today wants to look at any other large market. India is pretty much the only one. If you look at it across different sectors, you just mentioned fintech, financial services, for instance, is one of the largest markets. It's an infinite market, as I call it. It's hugely underpenetrated when it comes to credit. There's been a long history of high-quality companies going IPO, be it on the lending side, payments, payment platforms, etc. There's a whole lot of sectors across different industries, across consumer, across B2B, across SaaS. We just had one of our companies going IPO last year. Last year, RateGain. It's India's first listed SaaS stock. $1.2 billion. Company does around $25 million in profit after tax every year. So there's a lot of companies like this which are there, which have been doing well, scaling well, executing well, and are going to list or have listed.
Right. In your notes, you've highlighted, Anirudh, that I want to bring out, that many VCs are now beginning to look at more traditional tech businesses in India. If you could elaborate more on that, because that's almost a contra trend to the kind of AI craze that we're seeing globally.
Yeah, I think, AI is obviously a massive opportunity. There's a lot of companies coming out of Silicon Valley, etc. But if you look at markets like India, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, for instance, or Africa, or even the Middle East, there are a lot of problems which are very native to those geographies. And you won't see companies solving those problems coming out of Silicon Valley, for instance. Those are the kind of problems we target at Avataar, for instance. And we think that those opportunities will be massive, and you will see a lot of big companies coming out of these markets solving these geography native problems. You won't find American companies doing this. You will find companies coming out of Africa, coming out of India, solving these problems. Financial services, for instance, if you have to underwrite a small barber in a tier 3 city or village in India, it's a very, very different problem compared to what an AI oriented company will solve. So these are sort of the kind of businesses we at Avataar target. We don't think that they have to be solved by 5 engineers necessarily. These are problems for which you have to have very, very strong on the ground understanding. You have to be a little bit more traditional. That's why the word traditional tech, because you have to be a little bit more traditional in understanding who the kind of customer is, what the kind of customer is, what their problems are. These are not problems which you can only solve via technology. Transportation is another example. Mobility, obviously Uber and Ola are doing really well in India. Grab is doing well in Indonesia, Grab, Gojek, or Southeast Asia. But you also have a massive segment of the population which cannot afford them. They can only afford to ride in a bus. So we invested in a company called Chalo, which is effectively creating low capex Uber for buses in all emerging markets: India, Manila, Peru, etc. So these are the kind of sort of problems that we think need to be solved here.